So after the Spring Cup got underway for the Raiders last weekend against the Telford Tigers, the challenge gets even tougher, arguably, as they head into another weekend, this weekend against the Sheffield Steel Dogs. I'm delighted to be joined for this week's extended interview by Raiders number 15, JJ Pitchley. JJ, thank you for joining me this evening. Hope you're all well.
Welcome, even and all.
Indeed. I'm going to start on, before you look ahead and everything else, I'm going to start with last weekend, just to reflect on that. I suppose the results overall may have left you a little bit disappointed, but I've just got to start really. How good was it to be back on the ice in a Raiders shirt?
Big time. I mean, the feeling of playing hockey, for anyone that plays a sport or any kind of physical activity, it's always good to do. I think the fact that it would have been almost 11 months since any of the guys had kind of played hockey competitively, just kind of put a little bit more of a buzz and excitement on both the ice and the room. So no, it was definitely good to get back. I think obviously overall to start with, I don't think we played the best we could have on Sunday. I think Saturday was a lot better, but I'll kind of put that down to the excitability factor. Like I said, guys not being on the ice for so long and not playing in a competitive game besides against one another on the ice when we've kind of had training. I think we've done all right. So.
No, I think there's always an expectation that Telford were going to be a strong and difficult team to beat, especially with a lot of the guys that they've brought in for this competition, and with the Raiders as well, as we heard from Sean in the build-up to last week, sticking with the ethos, keeping with the main core of your team, not really changing it around, giving young people the opportunity. Were you surprised overall with Saturday's performance in the end, being so close, especially on the road?
Yes and no. I mean, you look at our results from Telford last year. Obviously, they won the league for a reason. Last year with the squad that they have, besides the likes of Jonathan Weaver and Jason Silverthorne, they didn't have any big names compared to what they've picked up for the Spring Cup. But no, like I was saying, you look at the results we had in Telford last year. We played some good hockey there. It's a bit of a smaller rink. Same with anywhere. Home teams, know how to use their home ice and home rink to their advantage, and Telford are no different. I think we played very well. As I said, the kind of excitement factor was clearly there from both sides. You could tell that from the moment we got on the ice for warm up, whether there be fans or not. It was everybody was buzzing it. Literally from the moment we got on the ice from the first puck drop and the start of the first, it was there was probably more hits in that game than what I think most people watching and most guys playing were expecting. But when you've missed something for so long and getting back to it, it was going to be a good game, and I hope it was a good game for everyone that watched. I think from a Raiders perspective, I think we played pretty well. We kind of held the fort quite well defensively. I think going forward with the guys that we've picked up and have kind of to use at the moment through the Spring Cup, I think I think we're certainly going to exceed some kind of expectation with things. I think being the first weekend back, it's always going to be tough. Only having, or for some of us, maybe 2 or 3 sessions on the ice together as a team, and you're kind of thrown straight into a competitive game situation. It is going to take some time to gel and get used to playing with people that you don't normally get to play with or have never played with before. So I thought we'd done very well. I think we were very unlucky to come away at a loss. I think we spoke about it in the change rooms after, and it was just like if there was maybe 2-3 more minutes, I think we had a lot of momentum going forward in the last 5-6 minutes when Glennie scored that goal. I seriously thought that we could have got that back to 3-3.
And you mentioned about the excitement of getting back on the ice, and we'll talk about more so Sunday, but it was still sort of part of, I thought, the game on Saturday as well. The team seemed to struggle a little bit finding each other with passes. A lot of the time it seemed to find Telford sticks more than your own sticks. Would you say that's an excitement issue then, just a bit of rust, or is that partly credit of Telford's play as well to get in the way?
I mean, I think probably a bit of both, and this is taking nothing away from us or Telford. I think, like you said, with Saturday being the first proper game back for anybody, in almost 12 months, that's the excitement kicks in, and things are. I don't know. It's a hard thing to explain, but I think after Saturday's game, everybody was, kind of quiet back down to earth a little bit on the bus home. And obviously when guys got there Sunday, it was, the excitement level was there because it's the first time we'd played at home in a long time. And for whatever reason, it didn't kind of reflect very well on the ice. And like I said, it's, taking nothing away from us as a team and as a unit. I think Telford's kind of showed a little bit more kind of grit and a little bit more of experience of what they've picked up and what they've brought in. They've got a number of elite league guys from, guys that I know like Ross Venus, David Clements. They've picked up Rob Blackwich. Sorry, they've got some guys that are potentially pushing to go to World Championships in the next month. So guys like that don't get picked for GB for no reason. They're good hockey players, and 9 times out of 10, when you're playing at that level, you can near enough kind of play with anybody. Being on the ice with somebody for longer than 30 seconds, you know where they're going to be, or from playing at a higher level where they're going to be and where you can put the puck to. And if I'm at all honest, I think they executed very well on Sunday, and it shows in the 5-2 score. So,
indeed. Let's just go back a bit further, talk about the 11-month break. I know that you were fairly vocal across all of it, across the lockdowns and restrictions on social media, desperate to be able to get back on the ice to some manner. When you got told that this second streaming series, the Spring Cup, was happening, what was your thoughts on that? And was it an easy decision to be involved?
I wouldn't say it's an easy decision. I think, anybody that, maybe kind of looking into, well, obviously I'm only speaking from, kind of personal situations or situations that I know are going on within the room at the moment. But, you've got a lot of guys that have got, families or, might be in different living situations and such. And I know, obviously, as I said, speaking from a personal situation, it wasn't an easy decision to kind of make and do, but it was one that, looking at it, I think it's been the right decision to kind of push the sport to keep people, interested and involved and kind of keen. I think, us as a club, we've done very well in the last 3 years since coming back to Romford to grow the team and grow the brand into what the Raiders is now. And, I'd have hated to have kind of seen the Raiders not take part in this for whatever reason. I'm very thankful that we've had the opportunity to do so, and like I said, get back on the ice and keep things going from a team and organisation perspective. But no, I think there are a lot of guys that were probably in a similar position to, what's going on around the world still is a very serious matter. But I think that the protocols we've got in place, the safety elements we've got, obviously the social distancing, the mask wearing, the weekly test to make sure that guys, their families, loved ones, partners, and whatnot are as safe as can be, but also obviously kind of making sure that we're able to do the sport. As I said, I think it's so far been a good success. Guys are buying in. Everybody has to kind of follow the protocols and the procedures because, well, if not, and God forbid, touch wood, something was to happen, then we're right back at square one with it. And like you said, with the break that we've had as a collective sport, not just obviously individuals and teams, I think as a whole, it's not a risk that anybody wants to take and to cause anything to happen. So
yeah, so I think it's a good news as well, I suppose, going forward, that you keep the fans interested in just doing a short competition. With the news that we're getting recently, that hopefully there's some promise in the end in sight, and you can have some fans in for the next time you get round to competition, whatever that may be.
Yeah, so we've heard the last couple of days. I think it's quite an unfortunate year for most people. So it's as I say, it's something that nobody that I know has ever experienced, and it's pretty much been new to everybody. So I think it's been a long time coming, but like you said, the fact that things are starting to ease and hopefully kind of easing on the horizon, so to speak, with kind of restrictions and what's going to be allowed and what's going to be in place, could hopefully, like you said, get people back in the building and kind of get people get people back buzzing again. So.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I just want to quickly move on to a little sort of, I suppose, call it a side thing related to your hockey and stuff. It may have allowed a bit of less withdrawal symptoms over the break, I suppose, because you were able to be on the ice, or at least in some ways, even just on some form of skate, rollerblades, or whatever, more often than many other people throughout this thing. And I don't know if many people really are aware that you do work alongside Tommy Huggett as well. I should mention, on a YouTube channel called Hockey Tutorial. That
Yes.
currently has 152,000 subscribers. Can you firstly just tell us a brief explanation of what that channel is about, and then maybe you can sort of tell us how that opportunity came about, what it's like to be able to represent the Raiders to a global audience and show off the Sapphire where you record some of the videos, and also how it is to just be able to try all sorts of equipment, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. The opportunity came around a couple of years ago. Obviously, kind of seen Chris's YouTube channels or videos, should I say. I think probably out of kind of sheer boredom. I'm sure anybody that has a bit of an insight, a bit of insomnia, whether that be after getting back from hockey or just sitting awake at 2 o'clock, you sit through YouTube, you end up kind of finding videos that you probably didn't know were out there. Just kind of come across a couple of videos. Kind of wasn't the traditional American or Canadian accent that you normally hear with all these kind of hockey equipment videos or kind of hockey videos. Did a bit of digging, kind of had a look on Instagram and kind of put the connection out there. And then, kind of fast forward probably maybe a year or so later, got a message on LinkedIn, just obviously kind of asking what my availability was at a specific time. And it was just kind of fortunate enough that it would be a Tuesday night, which is when we skated the rink. He asked if he could come down. He had some bits he kind of wanted to test out. And I think obviously his involvement with hockey was solely on kind of a recreation level. And from the explanation, he said it'd be kind of nice to, shoot some videos of guys that are, a little bit more kind of skilled than what the level that he plays at. And he's kind of a close circle of friends play. So no, he come down, and I say kind of the rest is history. We kind of get involved as and when he needs something, or if he gets a request from kind of any fans of a video or any kind of hockey companies that send him any equipment. I say kind of put it through his paces. Some are easier than others. There's been some kind of quite wild and wacky stick designs and equipment designs that, you look at it from both a sports side of things as well as a science side of things, I guess. And, it makes sense from a scientific side of things, like a hockey blade with holes in it, aerodynamics and all that. But then kind of when you put it into a game-like situation and an actual usable situation, it kind of counterweighs itself. But no, it's always fun. It's always enjoyable to, like you said, 80% or 90% of videos we've done with Chris have been at the rink, and some of the comments you read on there about how nice the venue is, and can't believe that a rink of that size and that kind of beauty, so to speak, is in the UK. It grows the game. I think Chris as an individual does a pretty magnificent job of kind of growing the game of hockey in the UK. Most of his followers are, obviously besides of the younger generation of hockey players in the UK, most of his followers are America, North America, some parts of Europe. He's got fantastic connections within the hockey world, whether that be NHL players, obviously kind of, representatives of likes of Bauer, CCM, Warrior. The list is kind of endless. So, no, he's a very well connected man, and from what he tells me, he doesn't work much. He just enjoys playing hockey, and he gets to do it for a full-time job. So, can't argue with that.
No, indeed, and I would just say it's not just something for the players and interested people that are involved in recreation or any sort of level. It's good just for an educational purpose as well. Some of the stuff I sort of watched on there, I've picked up quite a lot. We would never thought, just as a casual fan, that there'll be such a difference in different stick manufacturers and how players can just instantly feel the difference between them.
Yeah, they're the interesting ones when people ask, "Oh, can you do the new CCM Ribcore one against the the FT2 or whatever it is that's kind of compatible with that?" And I'm not Tom is the CCM go-to guy. I'm more of a Bauer guy, and I'm kind of been playing the game long enough now where, without probably realizing it, I could probably tell you the difference with some one brand of stick compared to the other, and vice versa. So a bit of a keen eye in detail with some equipment, so a bit OCD as well, which probably doesn't help.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, if anyone's interested, you go find that on YouTube. But back to sort of the current Raiders now. As part of the cup, things are operating slightly differently. Obviously, not just the procedures as well, but in trying to keep things and you limit your contact and keep it within as close quarters as possible. Whereas you normally would see the team train on a Tuesday night, a Thursday night. You've got a day off in between all that before the two games on the weekend. You're now doing 4 consecutive days of your training, some Thursday nights and a Friday night. How is that sort of?
Yes.
How has that sort of been affecting a physical level to make it difficult?
I mean, yes and no. I think, you know, for most guys, myself included, as well as like of Eric, Jacob, and a couple of other guys that were a little bit local at one point. We've kind of kept as busy as we can and as active as we can off the ice. Obviously, I mean, not being able to use the gym and those facilities has obviously been a bit of a bump in the road, not just for kind of myself and hockey players, but kind of athletes in general. You know, you've got a lot of athletes, that are, preparing for Olympics or championships in whatever sport they do. And I think, 8-9 months ago when gyms were closed and certain activities were kind of restricted, it did put a bit of a major spanner in the works. More so now, like you said, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a bit different for me. I mean, I've played for Raiders for a while now, and my body clock and my seasonal hockey clock's used to, Tuesday night 7 till 11, and Thursday night 7 till 11, and then Saturday, Sunday. Whereas now, like you said, play Saturday, Sunday, train Thursday, Friday, have a rest on a Monday, just to kind of, get my body kind of back in some kind of stable state where I can walk and get myself up. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays kind of do either go for a run, do kind of a little bit here and there, just to kind of keep myself active and not too much, so that I don't ache and can't do anything Thursday, Friday. So no, it is different. It's certainly a bit of a shock to the system, but I mean, it can only kind of go upwards, I guess. It's the first real week of having obviously games of a weekend. So whereas the last few weekends before this, we were just training on a Saturday, Sunday. So obviously the impact on your body was a little bit less. Still kind of feeling it a little bit, I guess, on a Monday morning after 2 back-to-back sessions. But no, a bit of time for rest and recovery. And I think, 2 weeks into this, I think the boys are going to be kind of going and just kind of get your body used to it. So.
And there's going to be, over the course of the next couple of weeks as well, a couple of midweek games to factor in as well at the time of the recording.
Yes.
Still haven't got the confirmed dates for those. But that's going to be an added challenge as well. Luckily, next week, you got the weekend off. After that, the week off, you've got to play the weekend as well.
Yeah, I think it's, like you said, you're getting 6-7 weeks out of this for some teams. And you look at that on like Sean explained in the interview he done, it's, when you look at a season and you plan for a season, whether it be a coach or, an owner or a player, you put programs in place, or you put schedules in place so that you don't peak too soon, or you don't do too much, and you kind of level it out. You look at it more so of a marathon where, you've got 6 weeks of this, you kind of got to go balls to the wall, so to speak, for, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, give yourself a couple of days to recover and kind of go back into it. So, it's a bit of a shock to the system, but no, I don't see anybody kind of majorly struggling with it. Touch wood that I know of anyway. So I think we'll all kind of follow suit, and like I said, it'll also just become a bit of a schedule.
Good news. Right. Let's have a look at ahead to this weekend then. Sheffield Steel Dogs. I guess a few people would have had them probably the favourites coming in. Will this be? Do you think this will be the toughest weekend of the whole cup?
Yes, in kind of cut a long story short, big time. I mean, Sheffield are very, very fortunate that obviously their talent pool of local players from kind of Steel Dogs right through to Steelers is very, very good. I think looking at it now, when the Elite League kind of announced that they weren't going to be participating in any kind of competition this year, besides the guys that were fortunate enough to go abroad or go, to Europe and play, the guys that were, staying at home for whatever reason, I think as soon as we kind of started and got something going, they were only going to kind of follow suit and join forces. So I think it's, all in all, I think it's good. I mean, personally, from my perspective, I've never played against guys like, Ben O'Connor, Jonathan Phillips, David Phillips, and guys like those. You've got a good caliber of players that have got, a couple of those guys have probably got the best part of maybe 4 or 5 years GB experience, maybe more, and then 10, 12, 15 years of Elite League experience behind them. They're all guys that I looked up to as certainly Jono anyway, being a bit older than Ben. You looked up to them when they were playing kind of in my position of a lower league, trying to make a name for themselves. They were playing GB. You always knew and heard about them. It's kind of good to see that those guys are still being treated as professionals and still playing professionally. So it will, it's certainly going to be a big test. From what I spoke to guys that played against Sheffield, and the other week, the first week, sorry, I said they're a good outfit. They're a good outfit in general. They were very well put together last year without those elite league guys that they've brought in for the cup. I mean, let's not forget the likes of Liam Kerr. You meet another player that's going to tell you they've played on the ice with an NHL draft pick. So, I mean, fortunate enough, I've been able to be on the ice a couple of times with Kirky when he was a bit younger, helping out, kind of coaching at an England stage. And I think he was being coached by my dad a couple of times, but that was way before he kind of put himself on the map with the drafting by the Coyotes. So no, it'll be good. I think it's an experience for everyone. Yeah, like I said, guys, certainly guys my age now and guys in other teams aren't going to get an opportunity to play elite league ever, and you've kind of got to take it where you've got it. This is probably the best caliber of hockey you're going to play. You kind of got to, deal with it. You've got to adapt to it, and I think in the long run, come the season in September, back to normality. Hopefully, it's only going to have helped and have benefited you as a player moving forward. So.
Well, my next question, instantly, you mentioned it and covered it there, was about Liam Kirk. As I say, you mentioned it there. Great experience for everybody to be able to play with NHL drafted talent in a guy like Kirk. So I think everybody's looking forward to seeing him in action at the weekend, and he's certainly been finding the net already. I think 4 goals in that opening game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I messaged him on a Sunday and just said, like, can you slow down a little bit, let some of the guys play catch up. No, Kirk is a good kid. He's 1 in a million in regards to kind of talent wise. All you had to do was kind of tune into any form of social media over the last year or two, and you look at what he's done, what he's come from, and what he's achieved. And being at the age he is now, he's still technically playing junior, so to speak, but he's striving, he's working hard. He wants to make the NHL, and I seriously think talent-wise and work rate-wise, he's got it. I think timing-wise probably hasn't been the best of things to happen with the COVID situation. From what I remember, he was on a bit of a role playing over in Peterborough in the Ontario League. So I think for himself, this was probably the best opportunity to still technically play competitive hockey and keep his kind of fitness levels up and his feet up and whatnot, so that when he does get the opportunity to go back, I think he's gonna kind of hit the ground running. And yeah, I hope he generally does go on to do great things and does get to make it to the NHL.
Brilliant. I think everyone will do. It'd be great for British hockey if he did. So looking to Sunday, the Sapphire historically has been quite a. The Raiders tend to step up their game on home ice. Whoever come would normally be tested if it's the strongest teams in the league to anybody. Are you noticing the absence of the Golden Blue Army, though? Does that make a difference? And was that a contributing factor to that over the past couple of seasons? And what can you do, having had a week under your belt, to try and adjust to that lack of crowd?
Yeah, I think without kind of answering this too generically, yeah, I know guys that are playing football at the moment, and they say that for them, they're in the same situation, having fans at sporting events certainly in numbers and in quite an abundance of noise like the Raiders fans like to throw out. It is a little bit different, but I'm not saying it's anything we can't adapt to. I think personally, I've always known Raiders fans for as long as I've been involved in hockey to be quite loud, even going back to kind of when my dad played and I was a kid, kind of running around. The Raiders fans have always been in full voice whether the Raiders are win, losing or drawing. It's a bit different. I think the atmosphere at the Sapphire has been second to none from the day we opened and the day we played against Cardiff. I think the following week when we played Swindon on a Wednesday and won, I got guys that I know that play for Swindon. They said it was a horrible place. It was already like brand new building, second week in there, and they said that it was a horrible place to come and play. Fans on you all the time, not kind of having any composure, so to speak. And they pretty much just explained that it's a bit like a fortress. So after that, we kind of given it the nickname as the fortress of the Sapphire, or the Sapphire Fortress. And it's touch wood, it's been that way. A lot of teams, like you said, they don't like coming to play there, whether you're new to the league or new to the Raiders in general. People will tell you, I'd like to think anyway, people tell you we got the the loudest and the proudest fans in the league. And no, I do truly believe that. So yeah, for any of you guys listening, you're truly missed. Trust me, it makes a huge amount of help having you guys in the building and giving a little bit more motivation.
So one final question, specifically on Sunday then. Home ice, second game of the weekend against Sheffield. At this point, obviously recording, we don't know what the result is on Saturday. You'll hope it's a win. But whatever the result on Saturday, what do you think the key 3 points that the Raiders need to achieve to get the win?
Well, probably no different than, once again, I'm not going to throw generics out there, but I mean, us as the Raiders, the bread and butter of the Raiders is, strong, physical, fast hockey. The reason that we've had success in past years is due to, number one, probably the age of the guys we've got. Everybody's, fit, fine, healthy, and, eager to win. And it shows on the ice. We're very physical. We get told that constantly. Guys, we tire teams out with just, relentless skating, and it has helped. And I certainly think both Saturday and Sunday, it's got to be a key factor. We've got to just kind of, go all guns blazing, like you said, with the talent they've got on the ice. You can't give them an inch, because they'll take an inch, turn it into 2-3 strides, and then before you know it, they're gone. There's a reason these guys are playing at the level they're at. So I don't think nobody deserves to be on the ice against them, because what we've got in the locker room, what we've got on the ice is we can compete with anyone on any given night. So Sunday, I think we'll have a better opportunity, like you said, being at home, being a little bit more of a comfort zone. I think we'll kind of case them out Saturday, find out, how to play, what to do and what not to do. And then, come Sunday, I hope we put in a solid performance. Like I said, run them down a little bit, tire them out, because a couple of them are a little bit older than us boys. So, and just kind of take it where we can. We do very well making teams make mistakes, and then we cost teams goals, or we score goals on those mistakes. And like I said, I do generally think we can play and go for a win on Sunday.
Brilliant. Well, I think that covers everything. Just one last question for you then before I let you go.
Go ahead.
We talked about the fans and stuff, but specifically for the guys, for anybody that's tuning in to the live stream for the game, have you got a message for anybody?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I put something out on Facebook on the weekend, and I know we touched on it earlier on. Just this is all new to everybody, and the effort as such has gone in from everybody, from John, Sean to likes of Malcolm and yourself, and everybody's at the rink that has put their time and their safety as such to kind of make this happen. Please just be very, very understanding and appreciative of what we're doing as an organisation. Sorry. We're moving in the right direction. I hope everybody's enjoying the streams, and as I said, please bear with if there are any teething problems. As I said, we'll try and iron those out and nullify them as much as possible, but stick with us. We're here, we're competing, we're playing, and hopefully we're entertaining you guys as much as possible as we can right now. So stay loud, stay involved, keep sending your pictures in, wearing the jerseys and all the videos and everything on Instagram and social media, because it helps us grow as a club and as an organisation. So yeah, we do truly appreciate it. Myself, hugely kind of grateful to still be playing with the Raiders and still having you guys kind of on our backs as a sixth person on the ice, whether you're there or not. So no, keep cheering, and we'll go out and do it.